Several prominent opposition figures held a closed-door meeting with officials of the Social Democratic Party in Abuja on Tuesday. The agenda of the meeting has not been disclosed at the time of writing this report. The meeting took place earlier on Tuesday at the National Secretariat of the SDP and included former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, former Chief Security Officer to General Sani Abacha, and Otumba Segun Showumi, a former spokesman for Atiku Abubakar, among others. Confirming the meeting, Showumi shared the news on his Facebook page. He wrote, "You must set forth at dawn." A strategic meeting was called by His Excellency Shehu Gaban, chairman of SDP, with His Excellency Nasir El-Rufai, Major Hamza Al-Mustafa, and Otumba Segun Showumi. The alternative to meet, greet, and review the state of opposition democratic engagement in Nigeria. This development follows El-Rufai's dismissal of reports suggesting that he had defected from the APC to the opposition People's Democratic Party. Responding to the rumors on his verified X account, the former Kaduna State Governor urged Nigerians to disregard the false reports, calling them patent lies. He also revealed that he had instructed his lawyers to take legal action against those spreading the misinformation. "Please disregard the patent rumors and lies about my political affiliation. I have referred the lead peddlers of the fake news for further action by my lawyers," El-Rufai posted on Sunday. A close associate of the former governor, who requested anonymity, also described the claims as the work of mischief makers, stressing that El-Rufai, a key figure in the APC, would not have defected to the PDP without making it public. Mr. Shidi, what are your thoughts on this story?
People are free, they have the legal rights to, hold meetings. But I'm very much sure that they should understand the system that is operational in Nigeria. If they want, I've said it here, let all the opposition party go and meet the person, the idea of who will win, who will be the winner of any election depends on the INEC chairman. Let me repeat myself. Let all the opposition parties, I don't know how many we have, they may be close to 80 political parties, registered political parties in Nigeria. I don't know, maybe more than that. Let all of them go and meet in anybody's house, either P2B, Atiku, or El-Rufai house. The person that Mahmoud declares to be the winner will be the winner, not the conglomerate of your whatever.
But people come out to vote. You rightly said that,
And I'm telling you here on air that it doesn't count. We have seen it here. We have seen it.
So what then? What sort of democracy then do we run?
It's a democracy that does not have a name. We need to. Nigerians should do the first thing first. The Constitution needs to be touched. Let there be rule of law. If the system starts working, these things will be very easy. You see how easy the American election was. To the point, it was just, was it yesterday, that the vice president herself, came to formally, to formalize the electoral college and approve that actually that Trump won election, because the system is working. Everybody, you are casting your vote, you are seeing it. When you are failing, you know you are failing. Right. Not that you failed and you know it. Is in the public glare. Everybody knows about it. you will have the right to let us go to court. If we don't kill that concept of declare me winner and let's go to court, we will not get it right.
Very well, thank you so much. He mentioned the fact that our democracy is now currently based off of the feelings of the INEC chairman. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the INEC chairman, I agree with him that there is a system, you know, but it doesn't lie on the INEC chairman's position alone. In fact, the INEC chairman would become INEC chairman when somebody says you should become an INEC chairman. By ranking in the system, the most senior in the civil service and INEC at the time would ascend to becoming the chairman. When the system that is in control feels that Mr. A wouldn't be of the best interest to deliver on their interest or their own mandate, that person would have to go on either compulsory retirement or one way or the other, the person will be pushed out for whatever reason. So that who is that is capable of doing the biddings of the man who pays the piper would now become the INEC chairman. And so it starts from the fact that INEC is not INEC. They are not independent. When the independent electoral body becomes indeed independent, that the appointment of who becomes the INEC chairman has nothing to do with the presidency. I think we can be making a step further. Now, you didn't appoint me to become the INEC chairman. How then would you be in total control of my actions? And so, yes, the INEC chairman has a hand in, because if the INEC chairman sees a result or goes through a process that is not healthy to be announced, nothing stops the man from resigning. Look, what is before me here, I cannot announce it to Nigeria. This is not what transpired on the field. After our collectively owned resources have been expended to ensure that the processes are followed, that even the blind can ascertain when something has gone wrong or something is going right. Talking about PVC, talking about, what do you call it?
The beavers.
The beavers and all of that. So what is the essence of all of that? Talking about announcing results from the polling unit, and then eventually, along the line, what was announced at the polling unit and what you sign as an agent is not what will be transmitted after all. So what is going on here? Look, Nigerians are not ready yet. I agree with him when he said, my colleague here, when he said, the election, the votes doesn't count, but it is the will of the cabal. That's my take now. It is the will of the cabal. So until such a cabal is put off and a democratic system is allowed to operate, then we can have people having their say through the ballot. Otherwise, we will just continue to be rigmaroling and running around. And now, if you really want to win, you go on the queue and then do as the master has said. And of course, turn by turn. Like the president, Mr. President said, it is his own turn now. So when it gets to Olaka or Olaka's turn, I will also come out and say, you remember it was Buhari's turn, and then the other time, it was Tinubu's turn. It is my own turn now. So it will be turn by turn. I have to be on the queue. So that whether I am performing well or I didn't perform well, whether I can even read out my manifesto during the campaign like what we saw in Edo or not, whether I can stand and present the budgets and call the figures rightly or wrongly, I would have to be the governor. I would have to be Mr. President, because the system had okayed that I should. Nigerian, and indeed Nigerians, have a long way to go.
Thank you so much. Mr. Shidi, you mentioned the constitution, constitutional reforms as a way of achieving the kind of success America has, when you mentioned, the vice president going to say, okay, Trump actually won the election. What reforms were you referring to in the constitution that can make us, in a way where your vote counts, right? Lots of people during the last presidential election, and myself included, that was the first time I had to vote. I went ahead to get my PVC. I stood in the rain, making sure that, I casted that vote, waited for the counting. A lot of people painstakingly, I remember trying to get my card, it was a lot of work to even get the card. What are your thoughts as regards when you say the constitutional reforms that can aid democracy in Nigeria?
First and foremost, the system has to be made to work. If it is the constitution that will give backing to the electoral reforms, when the constitution is faulty, and Bomere Kosima, when he was alive, said, man, where we are clean shirt upon dirty singlet must smell. You understand? If you leave the first thing first, and you are doing the next, instead of tackling the first thing you need to tackle, you are bound to fail. Now, you can't put something on nothing.
Right. Do you think
and expect it to stand?
First things first, he talked about dismantling the cabal. Do you think that is the first thing?
Who will dismantle the cabal? It is the constitution and the electoral reform that will dismantle them. The meeting, we are always repeating history, making the mistakes. They are meeting how to chase out the ruling party. That is not what they need to. What they need to meet and discuss about is how to make the electoral reforms to work through the constitution. If the constitution has some holes, it cannot stand to control the electoral reforms that are made. I don't know whether you're getting what
yes, I am.
Yeah, the constitution as it is needs amendment. Just like he mentioned, my colleague here mentioned, why should he be the president? He who pays the piper dictates the tune. Why should he be the president that will appoint the electoral commissioner or the INEC chairman? That was the mistake our brother made. Dr. Bele Jonathan, good Lord Jonathan, he was rightly informed that Jega was having meeting with the opposition party somewhere in Dubai. And remember, he wasn't the one that appointed Jega. He inherited Jega. They say, remove him and appoint your person. He was a very gentleman, democratic, and he didn't bother. He believed that Nigeria would work. And they worked against him. You understand?
Yes.
So that is the thing, because he who pays the piper dictates the tune. If I appoint you, you will do my bidding.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to do it. I dictate the tone of how you work for me. And you are going to work for me. You know it that you can never fail working for me. Where will you stay? So, of course, they are on checkmate. So that is the thing. These people should have been meeting on how to get that thing corrected first. When they correct that, every other thing becomes easy. If you cast your vote, it will count.
Thank you so much. This is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. Thank you, Mr. Alaka and Mr. Shidi Okoro, for joining us on the show today.
Thank you.